Welcome to Lesson 9 of Introduction to Botany, and to this lesson we're going to be going over seed evolution. Now, overall plants do not locomote, but they disperse offspring pretty effectively. And there's a lot of different seed dispersal mechanisms. There's explosive dispersal. An example of this would be in the plant jewelweed or touch-me-not, where the seed pods burst open when touched. There's animal digestion, also known as endozoochory. An example would be Osiris seeds that develop faster after passing through the digestive tract of birds. There's animal transport, which is epizoochory. An example would be foxtail seeds clinging to fur. And there's also wind dispersal, which an example would be maple fruits or samaras. And there's also animal caching, which would be like acorns buried by squirrels. And the key idea is that plants migrate over time through seed dispersal, often using a lot of different animals or physical forces. And there's a lot of different significance evolutionarily for these seeds. About 500 million years ago, land plants originated. And the seeds evolved about 150 million years ago after early land plants. And this seed evolution dramatically increased reproductive success, geographic range, and survival in dry environments. And there was a lot of reproductive limitations of early plants. You had bryophytes and seedless vascular plants that required water for fertilization. The sperm swam to the egg. And because of this, it limited habitats to only wet environments. So then, what allowed them to move outside of wet environments? Well, there was a key innovation called pollen, and that evolved alongside seeds. Pollen produces the sperm equivalent for plants. It's wind dispersed and not water dependent, which allowed fertilization in dry environments, and the result was seed plants expanded into previously uninhabitable terrestrial environments. So then, how did seeds get here? Well, there was spores in early plants, and that was ferns, and early plants produced spores, and those spores formed sporangia on leaves. And in 390 Maya, there was Gymnosperms, and this was a transitional group. It produced two types of sporangia, small spores and large spores. Then after that, around 320 Maya, there was Gymnosperms, and these were specialized sporangia. There was microsporangia, which was pollen, or sperm producing, and there was megasporangia, and that was one large spore. And then there was also an oval structure, and that oval was the megasporangium, a large spore, and productive tissue, or a seed coat. And after fertilization, the oval matures into a seed. And what did these seeds do? Well, they contained an embryo, or a young sporophyte, and it stored nutrients, and it had a protective seed coat. And the advantages of this was that it allowed a lot more protection for the embryo. It delayed development, also known as dormancy, so it allowed it to come up only when needed. If it came up too fast or too quickly, it could die, so it wanted to stay dormant until the right conditions existed for perfect growth. And there was also efficient dispersal, so it could spread more. And this led overall to increased reproductive success compared to spore-based plants. And the definition of a gymnosperm is seed plants with naked seeds, which are not enclosed in fruit. And there's 4 different types. You have cycads, which is an ancient group with pre-dinosaur. They're slow growing, and many species are currently endangered. An example would be the sago palm, or Cycas revoluta. Then you have conifers, which are pines, firs, cedars, or cypress. They're needle-like or scale-like leaves, and they're adapted to cold or dry environments. You also have ginkgo, which is an ancient tree species that's pollution-resistant and produces foul-smelling seeds. And then you have gonadophytes. An example would be ephedra, or ephedrine source, or gonadum, which was the food source. And past gymnosperms, you have angiosperms, and these were flowering plants. These evolved 275 million years ago. The meaning of angiosperm means vessel seed, because the seeds are enclosed within a fruit. And there's a lot of key structures, like there's a flower, which is the reproductive organ, there's an ovary, which contain ovules, and the fruit is a mature ovary. And the evolutionary success of angiosperms, there's over 300,000 species. Compared to the 1,000 gymnosperm species, it's incredible. They dominate most terrestrial ecosystems, and nearly all food crops are angiosperms. Now, I apologize if I butcher her name. There was a Dr. Else Marie Friss. She studied different fossil evidence. She studied charcoal preserved fossil flowers and a forest fire that happened over 85 million years ago. and she was able to see preserved flowers in 3D, which revealed that early angiosperms were more diverse than previously thought and that flowering plants evolved earlier than expected. So what are these specific structures that make up flowers? Well, there's about 4 different concentric whorls. You have the sepals, which protect developing buds. You have the petals, which attract pollinators. You have the stamens, which are the male structure that produce the pollen. And you have the pistil or the carpel, which is a female structure that contains ovary and ovules. So how do these flower structures turn into seeds? Well, through pollination. Animal pollination is a lot more efficient than wind overall, and so these flowers evolve specialized shapes, colors, and rewards to incite more animal pollination. The fruits evolved to attract animals for seed dispersal, and the result was coevolution between angiosperms, pollinators, and herbivores, which led to a major increase in terrestrial biodiversity. There is also additional angiosperm innovations with plant physiology, like there is a higher leaf vein density overall, which improved water transport, reduced water loss during gas exchange, and increased photosynthetic efficiency. There's also double fertilization, and this is where one sperm fertilizes the egg or the embryo, and a second sperm forms endosperm, like an example with corn, wheat, or rice, and that endosperm produces nutrients and makes seeds more likely to survive. Now, if you could take away anything from this lesson so far, it's that seeds eliminated dependence on water for fertilization. Gymnosperms introduced seeds, angiosperms added flowers, fruits, and double fertilization, and all plant groups are equally evolved, not hierarchical. Different strategies succeed in different environments. Thanks for watching this episode of Introduction to Botany Seed Evolution. I hope to see you in more future episodes, and if you want to subscribe, you can get updated on any of the botanical or plant content that I post in general.